Good morning, guys. So today's going to be a little bit different of a video. We're going to take a trip, as you probably saw from the title. We're going to head up to Mauna Kea today, go check that out, and then also I am going to take you guys on a tour of one of the observatories that I work at. So something different. Hopefully you guys like it. And just want to say thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, and we will be on our way. It's about 6:45 in the morning, almost 7, so it's a little rainy here, but up on the Mauna, it's nice and sunny and clear. All right, let's go. All right, guys, well, we are on our way. Phone's kind of shaky. So on this video, I'm gonna cut in some videos that I've recorded over the past few weeks from when I was up there working, because we had the telescope open, so that'll be cut in later on. But we're heading into Hilo now. Bye. So we are in Hilo, and we had to make a pit stop at Tokunaga's. But what we're really here for is the lava scone truck. So this is why we come here. These are called lava bites. I got mine with lilikoi and strawberries. My wife's cookies, coconut limeade. Yeah. So we'll be eating this on the way up to the mountain. All right, guys, so we are up at the turnoff, which is Mauna Kea Access Road, or MCAR, which a lot of people call it. And this was the site where the protectors were, or protesters, I guess, depending on which side of the issue you're on. And as you can see now, they're pretty much gone. Ever since the COVID thing started, a lot of them cleared out, you know. There still are a couple tents up here with a couple people staying in them. So I do drive up here for work once or twice a week sometimes, and so I see this pretty regularly. I was actually just up here yesterday for work too. But that is what the camp looks like now. And then across, which I don't know if you can see, but this is, up here is where they had the big flag on top of this cinder mound. So yeah, that is it, and it's a beautiful day. You saw we were driving up through rain, but up here it's totally sunny. So we are going to head up the mountain now. So we are now at the visitor center, and it's not open right now, of course. But so this is where you would come, and you're supposed to acclimate for about 20-30 minutes before heading up. But I wanted to get a picture of this view over here. So that is clouds. That's not the ocean. So we drove up above the clouds. And then off in the distance here, well, this is Mauna Loa on that side, which you can't see too good, but as we get higher, you'll be able to see it a lot better. And the visitor center is about 9,000 foot elevation. So this is HP, or Hail Pohaku, and this is where, when it was open before COVID, when we would come up to work, we would actually stop here because they have offices, they have a cafeteria, and then these are like little cabins, or it's sort of like a hotel. So when observers come from around the world and they're coming here to work at the telescope for a week or however long they come, a lot of time this is where they would stay. So they're not actually staying up at the top of the mountain all night. Some of them will, but then they would stay here in these little cabins. And then this is where we're going to be heading. You can kind of see the road zigzagging up there, but that's where we're going to be headed to. All right, so this is where you're leaving the visitor center area, and this is where it becomes a gravel road. So right here is where you're supposed to switch into four-wheel drive. And they want you to switch into four-wheel drive to help maintain the road. It's not because the road is super crazy or anything like that. It's just to maintain the road. So I wanted to make a stop here because you get an amazing view of Mauna Loa. And it's hard to tell like how massive it is, but Mauna Loa is actually almost as high as Mauna Kea. I think it's only a couple 100 feet difference lower. And you can just barely see the crater. Let me zoom in if it'll focus. So if you see that little ridge kind of drop down there, that's the crater of Mauna Loa. And there actually is a couple observatories. If you can see these white buildings, I don't know if it's focusing in or not. There's a couple observatories there, and then there's another one over there, I think center on the screen. And then if you look, you can also see the road, which is Mauna Loa Road, and it heads up there, and it's basically just goes to the observatories on that side. So there's widescreen mode, and then back to normal. So that is Kona over there. And then you see all the awesome cloud coverage. So it's probably raining right now in Hilo. And then over there is where we live. So down that way is where Puna area is, Pahoa, Mountain View, all that is over in that area. All right, so we are on the upper ridge of Mauna Kea, and these are the observatories on the lower ridge that we're looking at. So this is JCMT, which is the observatory I work at, and that's where we will be taking the tour later. This is SMA, which is actually a cluster of small telescopes or antennas. This is Subaru. This is Keck, which is a dual antenna. This is IRTF. Back there in the distance, that's actually Maui, if you see that. And then here on the upper ridge, we'll get a better view of these, but that's CFH, which is California, France, Hawaii Telescope. And then behind here is Gemini, University of Hawaii. And then this is UKERT, and this is another observatory that I work at. So we'll drive up there a little ways and then I'll shoot the other direction. So this is Kona down here. But yeah, we are at about 13,800 or so feet. Oh, and I forgot to get this is a student observatory. This is where I guess astronomy students from UH can come up here, and it's a very small observatory, as you can see. Yeah, with Mauna Kea in the background. All right, so we are at CFH, which is California, France, Hawaii telescope, and you can see the size of this thing. And then this is Gemini here. You can see Euclid over there in the background, which we were just on the other side of that. So this is Gemini. This is a weather station here, so it keeps track of everything. And this direction, you can't see it because of the cloud coverage, but this is Hilo Bay right here. So Hilo Bay is like right there under the clouds. And on clear days, you can actually see all the way down into Hilo, downtown Hilo. You can see the airport, you can see the bay. Actually see pretty good even from this distance. And then you see all the cinder mounds. They go all the way around Mauna Kea. Even down over here you can see more. It's pretty crazy to think 9 years ago when things were spurting lava. Like this had to be a pretty crazy place to be. FJ. All right, I wanted to do a quick stop on the backside of Mauna Kea. Well, this is the north side, I guess you would say. So again, there's Maui in the distance. This is Kohala right here. You can just barely see sticking through the clouds. Waimea is like right here. Can't really see it today. Down here is Waikoloa. You can see the ocean there and even some of the beach area. And of course, heading this way is where Kona is. So we are on the backside of Subaru, and then this is Keck up here. So the proposed site where they want to build the TMT is actually down. There's a plateau here, and then there's another plateau just below this, and that's actually the proposed site for the TMT. Whether or not it ever gets built, I don't know. If you see the little platforms over here, that's actually part of SMA, which is, we'll drive past that. They have all the smaller antennas. So those antennas can get moved around to different locations depending on what they're trying to look at. All right, so back in the car. All right, so we are inside the James Clerk Maxwell Telescope. And this was commissioned on the 27th of April, 1987. All right, so just to do a quick walk around, we were at the base level of the observatory. So there's various shops around here. There's an electronics shop here. This is an employee break room here. Restrooms. There's some chillers down here. This is to keep instruments cold that are up above us. So this is the center column support structure, and above us is the antenna. So the antenna is actually mounted on here, and this entire building rotates. So you see the big wheels, those go all the way around the outside. So the whole building can rotate 360 degrees, and then the center that the antenna is on, which you'll see once we get up above, can rotate as well. So continuing around, we have another electronic shop, storage, safety board, and then this is the stairs going to the upper level. And then in here there's a machine shop. Hey, what's up? Okay, so we are going to head up to the main level now. All right, guys, so we are on the main floor, observatory floor here. And behind me, you can see this is the antenna above us. And then over here is the control room. So when people would come up here and do observing, they would actually sit in the control room, and that's where they would run everything from. There's the cabin up here, we call it, is the diamond-shaped house at the bottom of the antenna, and there's a bunch of instruments up there. So I'll actually run up there real quick and show you guys that briefly. And then you can see all around there's all kinds of things that support the work that gets done up here. So there's cranes, there's lifts, there's equipment to lift stuff up. And then you can see the different platforms where instrument support is, and that is all the way around. So there's stuff up here, there's the stairs going up, which go up really high. And then there's more instrument decks up here. Take a quick peek at the cabin. So again, this is more instrument support. Low clearance. Let me turn the lights on. So this is the cabin. And there's instruments mounted all the way around here. And if you look up, you can see the secondary mirror way up there. Okay, so if you see, the antenna is rotating right now. It's moving very slowly, but it moves very smoothly. So when they're tracking stars or comets or whatever they're looking at, this has to move very precisely, because 1 millimeter of movement here, you know, thousands or hundreds of thousands of miles out in space is a huge movement. So it has to be very exact. Okay, so now I'm rotating the telescope, and it doesn't really appear like you're moving at all because it moves so smoothly. But if I take a step out here, out the door, then you see that we're actually moving. So the entire building is moving right now. But again, it moves very smoothly, so they can track whatever they're trying to observe. Now if you look at the very bottom floor, you see it through the crack here. So this is the antenna side, and this is the housing side, or the building side. So right now, because it's rotating, you can see the yellow lines going past, and that's way down on the base level where we first came in. So even though these two halves, they move independently, they'll move together. So when this is sitting idle, this yellow line will line up with this line here, which it should get to that point, yeah, right now. So the antenna and the building are coming back into line with each other. All right, so now we are on the canopy level. I'm gonna switch to ultra wide just so we can get a better view. This is called the canopy level for obvious reasons. This is where the canopy is. So when we were down on the inside, this canopy goes around the antenna all the way down. And basically what this does is when the doors and roof are open, it protects the antenna from dust, wind, any kind of solar exposure. They can't, point the antenna directly at the sun, obviously. So this canopy is on a giant roll, and then the whole thing can be retracted if necessary. So if any work needed to be done on the antenna, or maybe something on the doors or whatever, it can be retracted. So there is a man basket here, which I'll switch back to regular mode. So this man basket is on a crane, it goes up, and then this crane can actually roll all the way out. And then if you look underneath, So that's actually inside the antenna there, and then there's the secondary mirror, and then you can see the canopy there, which that is where the doors are on the other side of the canopy. We'll get a better view of this in a second. All right, so we're going up to the next tier, and this is the first area where, if you're afraid of heights, it might freak you out a little. Low headroom, there's a little door. Then you open it up. Whoa, and you can see all the way down to the bottom floor. So from this viewpoint, you get a really good view of the antenna, the secondary mirror, and then you can see the whole dish from up here. That is the hole in the center, so that leads down to the cabin where we were earlier. And then you can see the instrumentation decks down below us. And then this goes up, keeps going up and up and up. Okay, so at this point in the video, I'm going to cut in some video that I had shot a few weeks ago when we were up here working, and we actually had the roof and doors open so that you can kind of see what the antenna looks like when the roof and doors are open. So you can see where we are now, up above the antenna itself. This is the canopy running across. So we're going to head up to the next level where the exterior walkway is. So this is the walkway that goes around. So this is SMA. All the way off in the distance there, you can see Maui. See that, just that little mountain top peeking through the clouds? That's Maui. So this is the outside, and it's a pretty good drop all the way down. This is the walkway. So right now the roof is open, so that's why, otherwise all this wouldn't be here. Mauna Loa. Whew. Hope you're not afraid of heights. But yeah, amazing views. So that is the access road coming up, where I drove up. That's the road goes around and goes up to the upper ridge. And this is the other door that comes in. Alright, so now I'm actually up on the roof. So you can see the canopy behind me there. And up here you run out of breath really quick, especially going upstairs and ladders. So turn the camera around. So that's another view of SMA. That's Subaru. That's Yukurt. Or sorry, that's Keck. IFRT or IFTR, I can't remember which one it is. That is CFH, Gemini, University of Hawaii, Yukurt. Alright, so we are on our way back down. I just wanted to stop here to give kind of a different perspective of all the different levels and tiers. So that's the control room down where we were. This is where the cabin is, and then of course the antenna. That's the canopy where we were just up above, and then further up. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap up the tour of the observatory. There's the outside view, so that's the walkway up there where I was walking earlier. And it's just a beautiful day today. Great views, temperature's good, sunny. you have to watch out up here because you can get sunburned really fast. Because of the higher elevation, thinner oxygen, you actually can get sunburned quick. So we're gonna head back down the mountain now. Alright guys, well, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Got a chance to show some of the beauty of Mauna Kea, of the Big Island, and to see, you know, inside the observatory, and see, you know, some of the science and technology that goes on as well. And there's Mauna Kea behind me. Of course, it was an awesome trip. The sun is in my eyes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll probably be doing some videos like this in the future as well, when we, you know, go on other little road trips or places around the island. And I know there were a couple people asking, you know, me to do videos like this. So this is the first one, I guess, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video.